Well,
Mike Tyson. A couple of things have happened since last time. Originally, the fight with Holyfield was called off, and now it's back on.
Oh, cool.
Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think the two of them will actually get in the ring?
I don't know. I don't think Mike should fight Holyfield again. I mean, maybe it's a money thing.
Well, it's definitely a money thing.
Oh, okay.
Definitely. I mean, that's a big payday right there. He got a nice payday off of Roy Jones.
The Roy Jones thing.
That was a successful overall event.
Yeah.
I hope this happens, but he's 0-2 against Holyfield.
Yeah. I think Holyfield ain't no joke.
Yeah. Have you met Holyfield?
Yeah. He's still it's not like, I mean, Holyfield still trains, man, and he's no joke.
Yeah, he looks like he's in great shape.
Dude, that cat is like he's so solid, man. Like he's just like, there's no joke about Holyfield.
Okay, so if you were to bet on that fight
Holyfield
right now, you would say Holyfield.
Absolutely.
Okay. If you were to bet on, now, if we were to go back in time and I would have asked you to bet on Tyson versus Roy Jones, who would you say?
Back in the day?
Like the recent fight. If I were to say before the fight, who you got, Tyson or Roy Jones?
I would have said Roy Jones, because if he was more Roy Jones,
right,
like as much as Tyson was Tyson, I thought Roy Jones would move and outpoint him.
And we talked about this.
Yeah,
I just don't remember
that's what I
said.
thought. If Roy Jones moved like
Tyson,
he used to.
Tyson definitely won that fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you say with Holyfield and Tyson, it's going to be Holyfield.
I would think so, because goodness, man, what just the shit that Mike Tyson has to deal with. God, man, it's like I don't wish that on anybody, man. That's the most. He's like one of the most famous people walking the planet.
100%.
When I just think about the burden on that cat, just like leave me the fuck alone for once. Like I wouldn't want to trade that for anything. Like to me, it's like he's got so many distractions, and I mean, I just feel like he's being picked at all the time, nonstop, from 20 different directions. Holyfield can he could basically navigate freely throughout the world, and I see him. Holyfield's like very comfortable by himself. He'll go to events and whatever. He's just like
you want
what I mean?
You want to know what's crazy?
Yeah.
You want to know what's crazy? Since our last interview, I interviewed Riddick Bowe. Right? At one point, Riddick Bowe quit boxing and became a public bus driver. He drove a bus.
Yeah, I believe it.
And I said, well, what happened when people get on the bus and be like, hey, man, aren't you Riddick Bowe? He said, not a single person recognized me. The whole time that he drove a bus, not a single person realized that was Riddick Bowe. You throw Mike Tyson on that same bus.
Oh, you can't. Mike Tyson can't go nowhere, man.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And look, Riddick Bowe had a phenomenal career. He was one of the great heavyweights out there.
Yeah.
And yet, the popularity doesn't even come close to a Tyson.
Yeah, man, but like, would you want that popularity that Tyson has?
Man, I don't want the popularity that I have. That's why I'm behind the camera. Come on, you're asking the wrong person right now. I don't want none of that shit.
Yeah. So, so I'm like, what's the point? Like, this guy has his freedom to some degree. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of balances out in a way.
I mean, it balances out in the way. And honestly, look, when you talk about someone on the level of a Tyson, and you talk about popularity as a whole, popularity often does come with a paycheck.
Yeah, absolutely.
And look, just being...
But happiness has got nothing to do with money. It really doesn't. No,
I'm going to have to disagree with you.
Okay, you can disagree. But, I know a lot of rich, unhappy-ass people.
Oh, I bet you know a lot more poor people that are unhappier than those same rich people. And Ask a rich person if they want to trade places with a poor person.
I hear what you're saying, but I know a lot of poor
I'd rather
people
cry in the Ferrari than in the Yugo.
I know when I go back home, the people that their priorities are their family, and man, I see a richness in people that I look at from a different lens now, and I see is beautiful. When people, there are people taking care. When maybe I'm an optimist, but when I drive home and I look at all the lights at night in all those houses, I'm saying, like, maybe I'm an optimist, right? But when I drive home and I look at the lights at night, all those houses, thousands and thousands of houses, I think that's the majority of the people are putting their children to bed. They're living their happy lives. They're not making any, any news because they're living their happy lives. If one of them got murdered, then they'd be on the news.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is this: there are people with their families that are happy.
Yes.
And those people outnumber the celebrities that are rich.
100%.